What really happens when you file for bankruptcy in California? We're gonna cover all that and more, so let's get started. You're here because you're wondering what bankruptcy is and what it can do to help with your debt relief situation. My name is Ben, and I'm the CEO of Ascend Finance that creates debt calculators to help you understand your options to get out of debt cheaper, easier, and faster. Bankruptcy is a term that most of you have probably heard before, but what does it really do when you file bankruptcy in California? Let's cover 5 essential aspects. Also, this video for informational purposes only and not legal advice. First, when you file bankruptcy, you must submit forms with the courthouse. If you hired an attorney, the attorney would probably fill out those forms for you and submit everything for you in a package. If you file without an attorney, you may use a product such as myfreshstartfinance.com or the actual bankruptcy forms yourself, and you would fill those out specifically, print them, and submit them to the courthouse. That basically starts your entire bankruptcy filing process. Please note that generally you have to complete a credit counseling course before you even do that, but that can be another video. Sometimes this can be actually going to the courthouse or mailing the documents or potentially even filing online. Each district is different, so you probably look at what your district's requirements are or speak with your bankruptcy attorney. There are 4 bankruptcy districts in California, so you could go to the court's website to determine which court you would file your documents. Now, the last video we made was actually what documents are required. So you may want to check that one out to understand what are the different documents required when you file bankruptcy in California. Now, when you file bankruptcy, you get what's called an automatic stay, and it puts a stop to garnishments and collection calls and a lot of different things that are making your life difficult right now, which can give you a lot of relief and may be super helpful. Also, when you file bankruptcy, you'll probably get assigned what's called a case number, and then the trustee, who's basically the administrator of the case, would most likely reach out to you via email or mail about your first meeting date, which is called the 341 meeting of creditors. Done a lot of videos on that, and other important things about your case. Now, your attorney or you may also provide additional documents that you would need to submit that weren't in your original package. Second, you're probably wondering what's the cost to file Chapter 7 bankruptcy in California. Now, the cost to file bankruptcy in California is $338. But if you hire an attorney, the attorney fee are going to have fees that are going to most likely be in the $1,000 to $2,500 range. The reason the fees could be different is based on like complexity of case, tenure of attorney, where you live, etc. Now, at the end of this video, I'll go over how you can estimate the cost to file bankruptcy in California and whether you qualify. So stay tuned. Third, let's talk about qualification in California. Now, Chapter 7 qualification in California is often based on what's called the means test. That test determines whether you have the means to pay back some of the debt or get your debt completely forgiven. And it's based on your household size and your income where you live. The numbers are updated approximately every 2 times a year. And there's basically 2 different parts of the mean test. Now, if you look at your income and you don't qualify based on your income and your household size, the second part looks at kind of your expenses and sees whether you could potentially still qualify even though you are above the median. Now, an attorney can help you walk you through that if you are interested. Fourth, to know if your assets are protected in Chapter 7, you're going to look at what's called exemptions. And California has its own exemptions. Many people are concerned about losing their home or their vehicle. And so what you do is you look at the California homestead exemption and then look at how much you owe on your house and how much your house is worth. And then that will help you estimate whether your house would be protected in a Chapter 7 bankruptcy filing. Now, the final question you might ask yourself is, should you file Chapter 7 bankruptcy in California? Now, that question is ultimately up to you and your decision. If you either do not qualify for Chapter 7 or you qualify, but you have a high value asset that is at risk that you're hoping to protect, you could also look at alternatives such as Chapter 13 bankruptcy, debt management, which is with nonprofit credit counseling agencies, or debt settlement. Now, let's go over how you can estimate if you could qualify for Chapter 7 bankruptcy and what would you cost. There are 2 options. You can comment down below the word calculator and we will DM you the link to our free Chapter 7 calculator or respond to your message. Or you can refer to the link in our link tree or in my bio section where you can access that specifically. I'm also happy to chat and answer any questions, informational questions about bankruptcy specifically for you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.